Well, Hugh Jackman and love interest Sutton Foster have separately stepped out in New York City at different events.
So not together. For more, we're joined by entertainment editor Peter Ford. Pete, this comes after Hugh's ex-wife Deborra-Lee made that statement last week about the betrayal.
Yeah, this is a tough time for them all. And, you know, I'm part of the problem, not part of the solution, because they're all under siege. At the moment, everybody wants to get the quotes from them, the photograph of them looking happy, looking sad, whatever. There's a big bounty out there at the moment for anything to do with Hugh and Sutton and Deb-Lee. So what does any good Aussie bloke do when there's trouble? Go to the pub, right? So he hit the Old Mates pub. Now, the Old Mates pub, as you can see there, one of the people heavily involved in that is Andy Lee. This is in New York, and it's an Australian bar. It's pub. It's not like a themed one. It's not kitschy. Well, they've gone to enormous trouble with it in terms of, like, they've bought the same carpet from iconic hotels in Melbourne, the same bar stools from an RSL in Heidelberg, I think it is. So they've really gone to great trouble to really make this pub look good. So Hugh was there. He'd done an afternoon matinee show at Radio City Music Hall, then went off to the pub to spend time there with Andy Lee, and they are good mates. Meanwhile, Sutton was getting all dolled up because Sutton was heading off to the Drama Desk Awards. Now, they're a very big deal in the theatre world of New York. Next week is the Tony Awards. They're the biggest of them all. But the Drama Desk Awards are probably second. She was nominated. She didn't win, and clearly made a choice to not go with Hugh, and a joint choice, I would suggest. And at the moment also decided to take one of her co-stars from the musical that she's in. Now, she did very much work to avoid going on to that press line. She stopped for photographs, but that's some distance back. But she didn't go into that situation where you are confronted literally face to face by people asking you questions. So, you know, they're treading carefully, as they probably should for their own benefit.
Yeah, all eyes are on them at the moment, as you said. Pete, Brooklyn and Nicola Peltz Beckham have opened up about their relationship despite all those, there's a lot of Family Feud rumours swirling around them at the moment.
Well, this is for Glamour magazine, and this was a shoot done in April, so I would suggest it probably was before the family tensions all went public. It's a great shoot. The writer who's put it together, he said they were just a delight to work with. They turned up in time, couldn't be more accommodating. They tried out things they weren't automatically comfortable with, so they've ended up with this great shoot. Now, of course, they're actually described in the article as the world's most famous couple. I don't know if I would have quite gone to that extent, but they're certainly, you know, up there. We're talking about them a lot. And the interviewer did ask them a question about how do you go about living your life in the spotlight. And it was quite interesting to see that although they're both still relatively young people, they're quite comfortable with doing that. And they are very cautious about what it looks like they overshare, but they say they don't. They keep a lot of things just for themselves. And as you can see there, Brooklyn talking about how you ignore the noise. That's the best thing to do. And in the case of Nicola also, you can see that, you know, she's always on TikTok providing stuff, but she's also very happy just to put up with the rubbish that's out there and just, you know, ignore it. Now, interestingly, this interview comes on the back of a report yesterday that they've hired the same legal firm that Meghan and Harry had. My first thought was, why do they need a legal firm? But it is to do reputational control. Now, what that basically means is that they are going to sue people who say untrue things about them. Now, I don't know that course of action has really worked too well for Harry and Meghan, but nonetheless, that's what they're going to do, because Nicola in particular says she's completely sick of it. Also worth pointing out that there's no reference, even though this was done before the family tensions became public, he doesn't make any reference at all to his parents, good or bad, whereas she does on multiple occasions talk about her parents and their influence on her. So, interesting article.
Yeah, I mean, there's something definitely up. I'm the authority on it, obviously. I know them really well. But he didn't go to his dad's birthday party, and that's a big no-no.
I will just caution you, they've just taken on lawyers to take down people who say bad things about them. So just...
OK, I retract everything I just said in the last 3 seconds, but I stand by everything else.
Both the Seven Network and Larry M to have nothing to do with Sally Barry's conversation. Danny DeVito and Colin Farrell have teamed up for Variety magazine.
Yeah, they do these actors on actors shows where they put two people together for some reason, and you know it's great. They just chat and all sorts of things come out rather than a professional interviewer. So this has just dropped today, and of course the link here, apart from the fact they are old friends, they have worked together on some movies. Of course, they've both played the Penguin, and one of course in the movie and one in the recent TV series. So that really is a lot of what the discussion is about. What they see the Penguin's background as being. But interestingly, in it they indicate, and certainly Danny indicates, that he and his wife Ria, when Colin was just a new kid in town and seemingly unknown, they invited him over for dinner, which is a lovely thing to do, and that's where this ongoing friendship has formed, rather than after Colin became famous. Here's a little of the actors on actors.
We met at my house.
Yeah, I remember.
How old were you?
With Ria, I remember Ria
This
well.
was you making the rounds, right?
I was 23 or 24.
You
yeah.
just, what did you?
I came
what was
for
the
a free
deal?
meal.
You came for a free meal.
Yeah, or beer anyway. I remember.
We sat in the yard.
We sat in the yard. I can see it
remember
there on
that.
the table. Yeah.
You were like
It was
24
lovely.
years old?
23 or 24.
Hey, you little punk.
Was there anything going? Was there any work, or just come over for a free beer and a couple of biscuits?
Holy Toledo. Just like that, out of the blue.
It was lovely.
Come
You were
over
lovely.
To my house for a beer.
You were so welcoming.
Kind of love the honesty. Just turned up with a free beer.
When I was a young whippersnipper, Larry, did you invite me over?
Oh, no, but there's some legal implications with that.
That came out wrong.
Definitely not, Your Honour.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.